Oh, it's time. Oh, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's first impressions time. But anyway, man, it's the WC man back with another video, man. As y'all can see on the screen, UFC 2. Now, I didn't get the game early like everybody else. Sorry. What do you want me to say? I didn't get the EA access, which was, I don't know what EA's up to, man. $30 a year to get 5 days, 6-day access, 10 hours. I mean, I could complain, but that would be way too easy for me to do. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, I'm playing as Benson Henson, or Henderson. I always call him Benson Henson. It just kind of flows. I'm playing as Benson Henderson against Conor McGregor, the notorious one, I guess. Y'all going to see what's going to happen towards the end of this fight. I'm not going to even speak on it. Y'all just going to see. It's my first game, so if I get dusted, okay, I just get dusted. But anyway, man, this is a first impressions video. I kind of want to go over a few things that I like so far, a couple of things that I don't like so far, things that they need to improve on, things that, you know, are glaring issues. You know, there's a few things that I can say that EA has definitely gotten right with this game, and then there's other things in which still it's like from one year to the next they just kind of gloss over it. They kind of, you know, they just put a little blanket on top of it and just hopes that it goes away and nobody says anything about it. Alright, so I'm going to be going over all that good stuff, all those goodies for you in this video. Alright, first thing I want to talk about, how the fighters look. Now, you know, in UFC, the original game, the fighters didn't look necessarily bad. It's just that they look too shiny. It's just like, it's the same thing. It's the problem that 2K has. Like, if you ever played 2K16, it's like, you know, who's a player I can use? DeAndre Jordan will be sweating, and you look at his face and he has the same sweat pattern. Then you look at, you know, Chris Paul, he has the same sweat pattern. And in a game like UFC, sweat is something that's is like the nuance of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know, in a WWE or something, or wrestling, when, you know, a guy super kicks and the sweat just flies everywhere. But when a big hit is landed in a UFC fight, you know, sweat is something that's an indicator of how hard, you know, a guy was hit. And in last year's game, it was there a tad bit. And I think so far this year they've gotten it right. When they do replays, I think that you can kind of see it, and that's something that's just a little nuances. See, but like my biggest criticism of EA, alright, is the attention to detail. It's never necessarily the whole game in the scope, but the fundamentals of the sport, the core of the sport, has to be respected. And looking at this game at first glance, alright, it's respected. Alright, the techniques, the way the fighters move around, even from what the, you know, the way the referee moves around. The referee, you know, is moving around fluently. Maybe not as much as Herb Dean does in real life. Let's be real. Herb Dean ain't moving around that quick. Let's be real. But when you look at it, it's like, you know, Herb is moving around good enough to the point where it's believable. The crowd seems like they're into it, and that's one of my biggest problems with EA Sports games, in which like the crowd just meh. You know what I'm saying? I haven't played NHL 16, but from what I heard, the crowds are pretty good, the chants are pretty good. It's a spot on. When Conor McGregor came out, you heard the ole, 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 you know, the official music, and that these guys walk out to the ring with. Just a small little nuance of it. The tights is another thing that they've kind of calmed down on from last year. I think that last year they didn't have the custom tights. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I traded in the game after a while, so I don't necessarily know if they had the you know, the red, you know, not the red and white, but well, some of them have red in them. It's like white and black with red trim, maybe gold trim. Some have what is it called, orange trim, depending on like if the guy's from a different country or what have you. A bunch of fighters are in this game. They have Mike Tyson in this game. I don't think that Tyson was in last year's game. They have Bruce Lee in last year's game. He was the big guy in last year's game. So the DLC is not a problem for me. I don't think it will be a problem for me. It was a problem for me with Mortal Kombat X. I wouldn't expect for them to release, you know, UFC 2.5 as I almost get knocked out there. I don't know if the video is synced up, but I'll try my best to try to sync it up. But anyway, it's one of those situations in which, you know, the content is definitely there for this game. The only problem that I could definitely see, alright, I can see this from a mile away, and some people might be like, oh man, WC man, it's so early in the process. And this is what my problem is with Fallout. This is what my problem was with Fallout, and why I chose to completely skip Fallout altogether. Alright, but I went out and I got Tom Clancy's The Division, and the reason why I got The Division is because, you know, it's a hot game, and you can say that Fallout's community is triple times that, and people are still playing Fallout. And you know, but my whole point is that the online community, the strength of the community, is the community going to be a constant thing for this game? Because, you know, I heard from a couple of people that, you know, were playing the original UFC game, and they said 3 months in, they went from, you know, him having to wait maybe 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, maybe 30 seconds to get into a game against somebody that's against his rank or an online match, and it went from 2 minutes to like 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Like, the online community was not deep. It wasn't deep like you would think that it is. And I'm a little concerned about the staying power of the community and how long the community is going to be into this stuff, because we've known that the community does have their times where they have their honeymoon phases, and I don't know if this game has that type of staying power. Of course it has Ultimate Team, it has career, but you know that it has highlight moments of highlight bouts in which you can replay bouts as replay situations where you have to knock a guy out to relive the moment and all this other stuff, which is pretty darn good for a game like this. You know, it needs to have modes like that. It needs to have things like that. You know, but you know, this game right here, the UFC game, this game right here can be played like it's arcade. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't know if you guys can see it, because like I said, I don't know if the video is synced up, where it's like, you know, I get knocked out at the end of the video if you don't see it, but it's like what is it called, the submission system is definitely a chess match thing, especially when you're playing online. It was that way last year. It was something that I liked, and it made you respect, you know, the ground game in the game, because you know, anybody can kind of throw a combo in this game, but you know, submitting the guy is definitely going to be a challenge. And that's something that is just an attention to detail thing that these people with the UFC, I hopefully had gotten right through my first fight. It seemed like it was correct, but you know, time will tell. This is a first impressions video, so don't hold me to it, folks. But anyway, man, my first impressions of it are good. There's plenty of game modes. I think there's about 200 fighters in this game. The online community is going to be hardcore maybe the first week and a half. It's the same thing, like I said, after the honeymoon phases of these games when it comes to the online communities, that's basically what my biggest concern is, man. That's my biggest concern. So let me know how you guys feel down below. It's the WC, man. UFC 2 first impressions video, and I'm gone. Till next time, peace out.